What's up, guys? In this episode, I want to talk to you about the secret to selling more music and the epiphany I had at a show. Let's go. I spent the last 14 years playing over 1,000 shows, touring 22 different countries, and become a top 40 Billboard charting artist. I fired my record label to go out on my own as an independent artist to market and release my own music, selling thousands of albums and millions of streams. The question I always get is, how did I do it without a label and sell even more music? This podcast is here to show you the way. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share marketing strategies to grow my music business and a loyal fan base. So hey guys, I'm just driving to the skateboard park. That's right, I'm going to the skateboard park, and it's me and my wife's 17 year anniversary. We've been married. We were together for 22 years. We were dated for 5, but we've been married for 17. And I'm going to get her flowers as well, so I don't think I'm just going to the skateboard park, but I just want to get healthy and make sure I get a little exercise. This is my little gym kind of workout before we hit the day, and then I think we're going to do a little bit of work, some dreaming, and then we're just going to take the rest of the day off and celebrate 17 years. And I'll tell you, man, having a good wife, having a good spouse behind you that believes in you when nobody else does, man, and learning how to love, learning how to forgive, learning how to shut your mouth and be patient, learning how to not blame your spouse for your problems or for your lack of action. You know, it's very easy to point the blame, and, it's easy to be nice to other people and then take out your anger on those that you love the most. And sometimes it's not even your spouse. Sometimes that's your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad. And, we reserve all our niceness for everybody else, and then we lash out on the people that we love the most. So I encourage you, turn the love game up to your family, because you know what? I'll tell you what, man, my wife has been ride or die with me, man. She has been just there for me, constant support and encouragement through the rough times, through the good times, through all the times. And so I thank God for having a strong woman. And I'll just say this, because I read it in a book, and it's actually going to be in my book because I quoted it, that especially being in the music industry and touring, I can't tell you how many times I had the opportunity to cheat on my wife in Japan, all across the whole world, China, all kinds of places where I was. And, being a star, so to speak, or famous, people just want to get with you just because they can say, hey, I was with this person, or they look at you differently just because you were on a stage. It's a joke. And why would I throw away my family for, 15 minutes of pleasure or whatever it is, for a one-night stand of a person who I won't even remember their name or where they came from or know nothing about them. And so I'm so glad that I've kept my marriage intact and I haven't cheated, especially in the music industry, because where I was going with that is that the impact of divorce and affair that has on you emotionally, spiritually, physically, just the mental, psychological drain and impact that will have. Sometimes that lasts for years, let alone losing 50 to 75% of your income, your drive, and then trying to rebuild yourself. You know what I'm saying? So think twice before you cheat, guy or girl. Stay with the one that was, with you during the hard times. All of a sudden you've had a little bit of success and you just want to, trade in your spouse for someone else. Biggest mistake you could possibly make. I'm telling you, work it out. Learn to love, learn to forgive. You've invested this much in your relationship. Stay in the game with it. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about before I went on that rant was about the secrets to selling more music and the epiphany I had when I was doing a show, I think in Northern Ontario, and my band was setting up, and we were sound checking, and I was listening to a YouTube video about marketing music and just selling online, because I was always trying to, market my music and sell more music and not always be so tied to the road. My income was tied to the road all the time and how many shows I played. And I didn't want to be tied to that anymore. I wanted, real freedom. I owned my music now. I was starting to get my records back from the label. And so, my income went up a little bit, but I'm like, okay, I gotta market these now. Now when I market them, I get 100% of the income. Like, wow, what a revelation. For so long, I was tricked into just, working hard for the label, so to speak. But I was actually working for myself, even though I wasn't even, reaping most of the fruit at the time, because the label owned the records. But when I got them back, that's when I really started to reap it. So I'm so glad I worked hard. I'm so glad I didn't quit, and I stayed in the game long enough to reap the rewards. And that's what I want to encourage you, is to stay in the game long enough to reap the rewards. Well, this video that blew my mind that I was watching talked about upsells. And it talked about the idea that, imagine somebody going to your merch table, a fan, after a show, after we play the show, a fan goes to my merch table, and they say to the merch person that's running the table, "Hey, do you got that shirt in a large?" And that person says, "Yeah, here it is. I got it for you. It's $20. They exchange the money, they give them the shirt, and that's it. That is the biggest mistake you can possibly make, okay? What a smart, savvy, genius, someone who wants to actually make money with music and merch would have and train those merch people to say, when someone says, "Hey, do you want the shirt?" You get it for them and you say, "Hey, do you want to get a poster too? He'll sign it for you." Or do you want to get the package where you get the CD and the sticker and the poster as well, and you offer them what's called an upsell. So instead of making $20 or $25, now you're making $40. You've almost doubled your money just by asking the person the question, "Would you like to get this as well?" You're not being sleazy. You're not being salesy. You're not being weird. They're there. They're checking out. They're into it. Well, this is the same thing that we did online, which allowed me to sell over 20,000 plus albums. Okay, go to smartmusicbusiness.com/live training if you want to see that. That's where I learned to sell my music online, okay? And it crushed it. That's when we were starting to sell all these albums and just kill it. And this isn't just CDs, this is digital downloads to people who have never heard of me before. Go to smartmusicbusiness.com/live training to watch the webinar to see what it is that I'm doing here. But this was a game changer to me, because you got to understand, not everybody that goes to the merch table and buys a shirt is going to take the upsell. But guess what? A large percentage will. And so if you just offer the shirt, right, your average order value is what we call it, AOV. Your average order value is $20-$25, because some people buy a CD, some people buy a shirt. And if that's all you offer them, when they just only buy what they pick out and you don't offer them anything else, your average order value is like $20. But then when you get the savvy person that knows what they're doing and knows how to sell, okay? And imagine you did a tour of 100 dates, okay, and how impactful this is. If you have someone who can sell and they're offering the bundle package, and now your average order value goes up to 40 because they know how to sell, and they're getting more money for every single transaction, okay? You multiply that over 100 shows a year, or in a whole tour of 20 dates, like you've doubled your income. Okay, imagine your normal night of merch is 500, but now because you're doing these upsells and you've trained your merch person to offer other things, now your average merch night is $1,000 or $1,500. Well, this is what we transferred to online, guys. Instead of just selling one album, I'm offering other things. Okay, I'm offering them other albums, other merch, other things online. And guess what? People are taking it. Okay, and so this allows me to spend more money marketing my music and allows me to be profitable. This is one of the things I was explaining to a Fanbase University member the other day, because I was like, dude, what's your bump? He had a really good front end. People were buying that and taking that. But I said, hey, what's your upsells? I said, that's where the profit is. That's what allows you to scale this thing and spend a lot more money. Is you need to dial those in. And we were talking about, hey, well, people aren't taking this one. And I was going through it and I was critiquing it. And I was like, dude, no, we need to change this. Try this. And I gave him a bunch of ideas. And he was like, oh, dude, that's so good. And so, and you can go listen to that Fanbase U Call. It's the last one we did, because we meet on the 12th and 24th. And I just critique people's stuff all the time. And it is so fun and awesome. And so yeah, I hope that encourages you. But like, seriously, like, are you hearing what I'm saying here? Are you picking up what I'm putting down right now? that like you just add that one thing in that can make a difference in your business. That can turn a business, like a music career that is like broke, to super profitable and killing it. So I hope that inspires you for not only just on the road, but online and everything that you're doing. You might even have a complete other different business. Okay? This is why when I go through the Starbucks drive-thru, whenever I order the drink, okay? And I notice Starbucks does this a lot more than Tim Hortons, which Tim Hortons is another coffee shop in Canada. But I notice Starbucks does this all the time. Is there anything else you want with that? And normally I say, yeah, some cinnamon powder on the top, and that happens to be free. But I always wait till they want anything else, because like I always customize my drink, and I'm always like, hey, can I get an English breakfast tea latte with almond milk and just 1 pump of the sugar cane? Because I always want to get it a little less sweet, right? And they always say, hey, do you want anything else? Do you want any food with that? They always ask that because they're trying to get their average order value up, okay? And I always say, oh, just some cinnamon powder on my drink would be great. And sometimes I'll order something else, but the majority of the time, it's just that. But it's amazing. Tim Hortons, man, they rarely ever ask me anything else. It's always just like they just want to shuffle me through. And they're not trying to get that extra order value up, which blows my mind. They're just probably missing out on thousands, tens of thousands, millions of dollars per year because they have such a massive amount of customers. But like, guys, this is how I'm hitting over 20,000. Okay, this is how I got into the 2 Comma Club award, 2 Comma Club, or 2 Comma. What is it called? The 2 Comma Club Award Club? I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyways, that's what got me into that with ClickFunnels and stuff, and just changed my life and allows me to run ads crazy and grow my music career. So I hope this has inspired you. If you want more stuff, join Fanbase University. We send you a welcome kit, and you get coaching calls 12th, 24th of every month with me, plus a whole bunch of world-class training. You're awesome. I hope this helped you out. Peace. So if you're a struggling artist and you're just trying to figure out this music industry, you want to go full-time with your music, you want to get noticed on social media, or learn how to launch an album, an EP, or just get your music more marketed out there, I want to encourage you to check out my coaching program called Fanbase University. Every single month, I jump on the phone 2 times with my students and I coach them and I teach them how to market their music, how to get noticed, how to handle booking agents, record labels, and just get their music out there. Also, you get access to exclusive training, you get interviews with music industry professionals. If you want to find out more and not do this on your own, not struggle, because I've wasted thousands of dollars on my career and now I want to coach other artists. Check out my program, fanbaseuniversity.com, or click the link below to find out more info.